Hello everyone, we're going to try out a new game today, TapOut. These are just beginning levels. These are kind of interesting games. I've been seeing a lot of them, sort of a 3D puzzler. First 4 levels, I think, are all training levels. And it's as simple as you see. You're just tapping on the arrows as they go. There's a little dot. So the arrow tells you the direction. The dot is... it's pointed towards you. If there's no dot, it is going in the opposite direction. So the dot, if it's pointed at you, comes at you. If there is just nothing on it, that means it's going away. It's a fairly easy stages in the beginning. They are training sessions essentially. I think they even tell you what to press in some of the cases just to move you along. But and this one, I think it's called TapOut 3D Puzzler or something like that. It's a nice little game. It's a little more difficult than the other 3D puzzler that I played. There's some interesting features to it. One thing I didn't care for was after the training session, they do ask you to rate the game, and then I think it's immediately after that they I don't know if you rated it. Maybe if you rated it 5 stars, they don't show you an ad, but there's an ad. There's no ads until after they ask you to rate it at least the first time. So I don't know. That seems a little, I don't know, a little wrong, I guess. But as you can see, we're just moving along here, just following it as it goes. These are all very simple puzzles to begin with, just giving you an idea how to play. It gets much more difficult to complete them. I don't know. I take that back. I mean, there's no reason other than, they've created such a big puzzle that it becomes hard to figure out where it's going to move through. So 3-dimensionally, you have to, I guess ultimately it's just a memory game. Ultimately, you have to remember where, because as you go and as it gets further and further away, things aren't going to line up as well as you would like them to. And then this game, like I said, it's pretty nice as far as excuse me, you get to increase the size. You can spin it, of course. I don't think there's any choice but spinning it, but being able to increase the size of it. So one of the biggest problems with these kinds of games is the good old fat fingering. It's very easy to fat finger these pieces. You get a lot of moves. Now there's obviously going to come in the future a little bit harder situation where you're going to you're not going to be able to make as many mistakes. But in these early levels, you've got plenty of moves to make mistakes. I think right now we have, looks like about 12 pieces left, and you got 31 moves, so you could fat finger quite a bit. Now in this game also, there is these little gold things, and I'm all for gold, for whatever it does. I don't know what you can buy with the gold in this game, but I'm assuming you open levels, because you open up levels probably through your gold, or you could probably buy gold directly. And because of that, it just seems a little weird that I mean, look, they're trying to make money, and that's okay. The number of ads per time of play isn't too bad. But like as you can see here, the story has been unlocked. I don't know. It didn't look like it required me to pay anything. And in this case, this is called a farm, and there's different aspects of the farm. I think there looks like 20 puzzles, and this one has 450 moves to begin with, and that's quite a bit. I think you wind up there's probably half as many puzzle pieces approximately. I don't know the exact number, but I know we get into eventually we get into like the 300s or so. It's a nice little game. It's as you can see, it gets more complicated or complex as you go, because now you've got a somewhat large object that you're trying to remember. Like this piece is underneath a piece that's 10 pieces away, because you're going to have a lot of empty spaces in between. So when you're like this is simple, obviously that's one plane, but it's not actually one plane. There's two planes. You've got these brown pieces on one plane, and then you've got the mostly white with a little bit of red on a separate plane. So making those decisions are fairly simple when there are pieces connected, and you can see, okay, these are all on one plane, one diagonal, one one vertical, one horizontal line, because essentially you're just pressing things down a line and hope they don't smack into each other. And of course, the more complex the object, the harder it is. You can always make it larger and larger, and this one is fairly large. I'm assuming you can make it even larger than this if you needed to, but I didn't really need to at this point. It's just going through the motions of getting everything in. And as you can see, the whenever you've got something facing you and it's a black dot and there's obviously nothing in front of you, which, look, it will be tricky later on. It does get tricky. As you can see, there's no pieces in the middle there. So you're trying to guess, you're trying to figure out whether there are pieces blocking each other, like the white pieces on the right and left sides here. What's lined up exactly. It's at the beginning of each of the puzzles, it's fairly simple to say, oh, this is on the opposite side of this. But when you are 100 moves in, maybe not as easy. And as you can see here, if you press the dots when they're all facing you, as long as you're sure that there's nothing in between you and that dot, feel free to press it, and it will come right at you, and you're safe. And so that's one of the tricks to this particular game. That you're going to have to do these little things to see, like right there, it looks like that blue dot is facing you, but depending on the angle that you're looking at, it may not seem that way. So, but this is an early stage. This is like maybe stage 5 in this game, and there's probably at least 100 stages. So I don't know what monstrosities await. What difficulties await. I can think of a lot of 3D objects where it's going to be very, very difficult to figure out just looking at it, and ultimately that's got to be the challenge of the game, I suppose. The designers coming up with designs that are tricky enough to fool your eyes, I suppose, to make you believe that there's nothing coming at you, like that red dot. But I generally play these games at a fairly late time, so I'm a little bit tired when I played them. Sometimes I press something, all of a sudden there's this big red dice coming at me. It's just a little surprising. Sorry about that. Anyways, as you go through here, we can see that the pieces are moving along. I think we started at over 4. I know we started over 420, so we've already dropped 100 pieces, and there looks like there's still half of the puzzle left, and probably the more difficult half. And at this stage, I'm starting to have a little bit of difficulty getting all the puzzles out. So we saw on the last stage, there are some gold. See, there was a fat finger right there. There are some gold boxes in there that I'm avoiding pressing because they give off you have to watch a commercial when you press those. I was hoping that the gold glass boxes were optional selections, and you're just doing it for extra gold or to make the puzzle a little bit easier. But that's unfortunately not the case. There are certain blocks, normal blocks, you can't get to unless you click that. Now, I do think you don't have to actually solve the entire puzzle. No, you do have to. I know there's like a present that pops up. No. So no, that's just for that's an additional prize. I might be getting confused with a different game. Yeah, there's just an additional prize that you can get if you were so inclined to do it. I think trying to remember if it was gold or the option to play a different game or try a different game. So. But anyways, it pops up at the end as you're about to win, and it does tell you. So the reason why I'm telling you this is because at the end of this particular puzzle, the feed gets cut off. So that's why I'm redoing the audio. The audio was lost completely, but the video was cut off right at the end. I think my phone is turning into potato, but no, it's my fault. I just don't have enough memory on the phone, and it even a video like this, it takes up a few gigs, and if I haven't deleted everything, it's not prepared. But as you can see, we're just moving along here, spinning the puzzle, looking for the easiest ones. I'm trying to avoid this puzzle. Takes me a little bit longer than it should because I was hoping to avoid those gold coins in the glasses. And see, that was actually a mistake I made on the last play. I clicked that one because the angle I was looking at it didn't appear. It was like here, that black dot should be okay right there. But that's why I'm double checking, because I had just made the mistake of clicking it because I didn't realize that red was blocking it. And it's only 1, 2, 3, I think 3 or 4 blocks away, but maybe it's because of the different colors. It just didn't register in my brain as I'm just tapping along. I think I made a total of 3 errors in this. Yeah, we're down to 274. That's probably 150 pieces in this puzzle. But this video is going to come to an end before I finish, so I just want to make sure you get a complete view of this. When this is completed, you move on to you can do number 2 out of 20 in the farm. And I don't know, a lot of us like completeness and things, so it's might be difficult if you started this game to finish this game, because this puzzle, as you can see, actually took a lot longer than I had anticipated. I think it was close to about 25 minutes to get through this one, which is a lot more time than I'd like to allocate to the puzzle. But there's nothing wrong with stopping and coming back to it. But I was recording it for the video and hoping to complete it within a reasonable amount of time. And once again, a lot more difficult than some of the other 3D tap puzzles. This is as I was playing it, it was very reminiscent of the traffic jam type games. If you like those type games, I think you'll enjoy this, except this is much more difficult than see that black one on top is gone. But I think I'm just a little bit wary because of the colors. The different colors, it kind of just throws off your aspect. When you're looking at it, things look a little different than if they were all the same color. And this is the first game I've seen where they use different colors, but I never played any of those to a high level. I think I played maybe to level 20 on the 3D Puzzler. The traffic jam ones I've played up to a level 100. I don't understand how anybody can lose at those. As far as what I've seen up to a level 100, any mistake you make is just they don't take long either. So I don't know how people make mistake of those, but maybe I have some special talent at playing these traffic jam games. We have a few. I think we have up to level 100, if I remember right, uploaded on the channel. They're pretty popular games, but I think these 3D puzzlers might be a little bit better game. I mean, it's essentially the same sort of, you're doing the same sort of thing. You're just kind of trying to free things that are captured. Just imagine their cars, I suppose, if they were in the shape of cars in a weird three-dimensional parking garage where you had elevators that pulled the cars up and down. Maybe that would be something that I don't think these 3D puzzlers are as, at least looking at the charts, they don't seem to be as popular as the parking lot games. But I think there's definitely things you can do here that to make them more interesting. To make I really don't care for the forced ads, but I can understand why they're in there. You get to a point where like I said, if this took 25 minutes or 30 minutes, they're not making money for those 25 or 30 minutes, but you're getting 25 or 30 minutes of entertainment. So, the price you pay is, okay, you gotta pay a little bit of money or pay a little bit of time. And the ads aren't bad. The ads aren't bad on this game. They are generally, you can click out of them within a few seconds. I don't remember there being a 30-second forced ad. If there was, I apologize. There are definitely a handful of ads, as you can see. I think there were three gold coins, and I don't think they were all revealed in the beginning. I think they wind up coming out over time. But I know two of them at least. I can see two right now. Were blocking the other pieces, so you couldn't. There was no way to avoid them, which, like I said, is ultimately fine. If you're enjoying it, 30 minutes of play, watching even if they were 30 seconds, a minute and 30 seconds worth of ads for 30 minutes, on TV, you would probably have to watch a little bit more than that. Of course, you're not obligated to actually stare at the ad and know what's going on, but you can do what you would do in a normal ad. Just look away, take that time to focus your eyes on something else, or if you really like the game, click the ad and help the creator of the game make a little bit extra money. Usually they get more money if you click the ads. And if it's a game you love, why not support them, support what they're doing. As you can see, this game has gotten much more difficult. Everything is spaced out a lot. What are we talking about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At least 8. I don't know about at least approximately 8 blocks in between the ones on the farthest edges. So, you're trying to ensure before you press anything that, yes, that is, that's the one. That's not there. That's not being blocked. And I was still at this point avoiding the glass encased gold. And if you're going to play the game, just don't do that. See, there you go. That was an error. That's why I had to reset that up. And so, there's 247 moves. I wasn't afraid that I was going to run out of moves, but I just don't like making preventable mistakes. And you certainly, you're basically talking about usually 8-sided, but because of the weird, a 6-sided dice. Basically, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a 6-sided object. So ensuring that nothing is blocked on any of the other sides is, it's not easy, especially when you got tired eyes. And but the fun games aren't meant to be necessarily easy. They should be a little bit of a challenge. Like I said, this is apparently some kind of building game where a farmer gets to benefit from your ability to clear out all these stacks. I don't know how why there's some leap in the. I think there's a little bit of a leap of logic, right? I mean, what does one have to do with the other? I am able to clear these blocks out. Now, if it was building the farmhouse, okay, I could see that. Like if you had to set up blocks to make it, but taking the blocks apart doesn't make that much sense to me. So I think we're coming to the end of this video here, and I just want to make sure that I think that what I think this kind of puzzle appeals to, and who would appeal to. It wasn't a very big download, if I remember right, so you can play it without. If you don't have a lot of space on your, if you don't have a lot of space on your phone, I think you can play it on the computer as well. This actually might be set up to be a little bit better on the computer, as you can use the mouse to your clicks and be a little more precise. I said I'm assuming this game. I doubt that they are making the hardest level 5 or 6 or whatever this wound up being. I'm assuming it gets just much more difficult as far as can you imagine? Say they moved up to the Empire State Building, and you've got to ensure a puzzle 100 blocks away is not in that direction. So yeah, especially with the it may not seem it, but yeah, that's the end of the video. But it may not seem, but the different colors do matter. I thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and if you have any questions, ask.